Dominic Cummings condemned MPs who refused to accept the referendum result, claiming they should not complain about the anger building in Parliament and around the country. The Prime Minister's most senior advisor said it was not surprising that some people are angry about the Brexit delay. He also found it odd MPs who caused the impasse were taken aback by it. Mr. Cummings masterminded the Vote Leave campaign before being hired as Mr. Johnson's Downing Street strategist. He said he and others who fought to leave the EU are enjoying this. Mr. Cummings added, "We are going to win. We are going to leave. Don't worry." The political advisor claimed those wishing for a second referendum would get a terrible shock if they thought it would wash with voters. He said, "What do you expect to happen?" Mr. Cummings was speaking after the Prime Minister defended his use of language after being accused of fueling hatred of MPs by using words such as betrayal and surrender in the Commons during a Brexit debate described by the Speaker as toxic. The Prime Minister insisted he deplored threats to anyone, particularly female MPs, despite describing his complaint as humbug. It came from MP Paula Sherriff, who said she received death threats quoting phrases used by him. A parliamentary statement on Wednesday evening by the Prime Minister on the Supreme Court's ruling against him turned into a furious exchange. It was described by the Speaker, John Bercow, as worse than any I have known in my 22 years in the House. On Thursday, Mr. Johnson said tempers need to come down, and people need to come together because it was only by getting Brexit done that you'll lance the boil of the current anxiety. Mr. Cummings said, "A lot of people have become really badly disconnected from what people in the real world and what England outside central London thinks." He made a public appearance on Thursday at the launch of a book by businessman and former Vote Leave donor Stuart Wheeler. Mr. Cummings was asked if he blamed MPs for the abuse they had suffered. He said, "The MPs said we will have a referendum and we will respect the result. Then they spent 3 years swerving all over the shop. It is not surprising that some people are angry about it." Mr. Cummings added, "I find it very odd that these characters are complaining that people are unhappy about their behavior now, and they also say that they want a referendum. What do they think? How does that compute for them?" He went on to claim he felt a lot of people in Parliament were more out of touch with the country than they were in 2016 after the referendum. Mr. Cummings said, "They don't understand that if you say we promise to respect a democratic vote, you can't turn around afterwards and say, oh, maybe we are going to overturn it. If you are a bunch of politicians and you say that we swear we are going to respect the result of a democratic vote, and after you lose you say we don't want to respect that vote. What do you expect will happen?" Mr. Wheeler warned him during a conversation on stage not to deliver a soft Brexit just because of the pressure to get a deal by the end of October. Mr. Cummings said, "To put your mind absolutely at rest on that, we are not under pressure at all. The referendum was pressure. The referendum was difficult. This is a walk in the park compared to that. All the Vote Leave team, we are enjoying this. We are going to win. We are going to leave. Don't worry."